It just intrigues me to watch them and see what they do and know that they're doing what they do.
Beekeeper Jim Garrison is talking about one of the hardest working members of the animal kingdom, the honeybee.
What am I going to find today? What are they going to surprise me with, good or bad?
As he suits up along with state apiarist Mike Studer, a bee expert, Jim is hoping his bee colonies containing about 200,000 bees are healthy.
I'm always hoping that I find the bees real active, and when honey is coming in or nectar is coming in, I'm hoping I find a lot of nectar in that hive. I don't believe I've got a queen in here.
She may be up in the top. There's a lot more bees up there.
Jim's been a part-time beekeeper for years now, so he knows what he needs.
I want good activity and the bees looking healthy and looking good.
He sells his bees honey to help pay farming costs, averaging about 60 pounds of honey per colony. But his part-time job is becoming more of a challenge.
I went into the winter with 63 colonies. I came into the early summer with 38. I lost a lot of bees.
He's concerned, and for good reason. Tennessee beekeepers like Jim lost up to 45% of their colonies this past year due to several problems.
A lot of it's been attributed to another pest we've got from South Africa, the small hive beetle. It gets in there and gets in the honey and burrows through the larvae and the pupae of the bees, the young bees, and kills them. And it's got a yeast on its back that grows in the honey. And when it starts growing, it slimes the colony.
Add the threats from mites, funguses, pesticides, herbicides, weather extremes, and a general misunderstanding from the public, and you get a good idea how fragile a bee's life really is.
Yeah, a lot of people take it for granted. They don't realize how important bees are to what they've got.
That's because when many of us see a honeybee, we feel threatened. But honeybees perform a valuable service for all of us, pollinating flowers, fruits, and vegetables, thus providing some of our favorite foods.
Bees are really important as far as our survival. 1 out of 3 bites you take comes directly from pollination, from the honeybee. You know, if you went to the grocery store, we didn't have any pollination, yeah, we can go out with a feather or a Q-tip and pollinate all these fruits and vegetables, but then you'd be paying like $30, $40 for an apple.
The fact is, honeybees account for over $300 million worth of crops each year just in Tennessee. Fruit, vegetables, even the food chain involving meat are all dependent on these small animals who always seem to be fighting for their lives from predators, the weather, or the misinformed.
I don't like wearing gloves because I don't like getting stung, and I know it sounds counterproductive that you would not wear gloves to keep from getting stung, but when you get stung is when you crush bees. A honeybee won't sting you unless you squash it, unless you're messing with its home, its food, and its young.
You still see her?
It might be enough to even frustrate the queen bee, who depends on her worker bees to feed and groom her.
She's the one that directs everything in this hive, lays all the eggs. In spring and early summer, she'll lay 1,500 to 2,000 eggs a day. Looks like a real healthy queen. She's good size.
For beekeepers like Jim Garrison, the future is a little uncertain.
That glossy there is nectar that they hadn't cured, and this sealed over here is capped honey.
His bees are working hard to collect pollen, build combs, and make honey. But he feels they're at the mercy of too many threats.
I don't think we can catch up with the problems that we have. I think part of it is all the pesticides that we're using out on crops that we seem like we have to have, but we're also not friendly to honeybees. I mean, we're killing bees like crazy.
His advice for all of us comes with a warning.
So let's make things better for the honeybee, because if we don't, we're going to be in trouble.
I'm Alan Griggs on The Wild Side.